Alright, this is Judy's video, and let's see, I think that's a good place for it. So some of the stuff we talked about, um, one of the first things we talked about is the difference between uh, legato and detached, or legato and détaché. Sometimes you'll see written in music. So, if we were doing the whiskey before breakfast, we could play. Let's see what string that. So that's detached, and that comes from lifting up the back finger, like lifting up that finger on that note before you finally hit and push down and hit this next note. So you ask me, should I, leave it down behind, until you put your next finger down. Go ahead and leave it down. So I'm going to go. So I push that finger down. Now I'm not going to see that when I hit this the finger up above it. This first finger is still even sitting there. I don't really have to press down hard on it anymore. But I'm going to let it sing until I get that next note out of it. So if you want, you can even just practice that much of that to make sure that much of it is legato, just like we were talking about with speed. And now the faster you play, you might lift your finger up a little bit faster. Well, now it doesn't matter hardly, does it? Because the notes are going so far, so fast, it doesn't matter. So that legato playing matters more at medium to slow tempos. But once you get that habit at medium to slow tempos, you're playing at fast tempos is going to be a lot cleaner. Okay. And remember how you were telling me somehow it didn't sound as good when you played it fast? That could be one of the reasons, because now you're hardly getting any note, right? So if you leave them down. All right, and what else? We talked about our left hand position here, and I think your wrist stuff, really quickly. I think your wrist stuff is working out, and that's good that you're using a little bit of wrist now too. And so now you'll have two things to worry about as you're practicing, right? But so so it won't be boring for your left hand while you're working on your right hand. You're going to be working on both of them together, okay? And so now what we talked about is the thumb and the relationship of the pivoting thing. So we want to keep our index finger kind of, let's see how we can see this. So my index finger here is kind of in the middle. It's up against this nut. It's kind of in the middle of that nut. And so I'll show it to you here so you can kind of see. And then the thumb is going to be, if we put that first finger on that first fret, the thumb is going to be, kind of just behind that index finger is what I think we want to have it. And then we're going to play open, and then we're going to play first fret with the first finger, and then slide that first finger up, play the second fret with the second finger. Now I'm not sliding my whole thumb up like this, right? I'm pivoting. As I do, look at that thumb just kind of lay out. More. See that thumb kind of lay out like that? So that's where our pivot's going to come in. Down and back down. By the time I get here, boy, it's backed up again. And I'm not trying to do that. It's just happening. And for me, it kind of sits on the inside of my thumb right at that knuckle kind of, or just above it. So for different people, it might be a little bit different, but basically you want to find your comfort spot here so that you can pivot. And so now I'm pivoting to a point here. I'm pivoting to a point with my whole hand. My index finger, though, has wandered away from the nut. I'm pivoting so far. See that? Look how far I can pivot, leaving my thumb right there. Right? But we're not going to be doing that, okay? We're going to be pivoting, but we're going to leave our index finger by or near. See, now I'm just a little bit in front of that, aren't I? In front of that with my index finger. But that's as far as I want to get. Okay. And then I'm going to go second string. And I wanted to mention too about your elbow. It seemed like it was being like pulled in here or something like that. That doesn't help. So really, your elbow should be so relaxed that if you took your pressure off your thumb and your forefinger, that it would just fall out. So put it up, let it fall out, and then put it up there, and then put it in position, and try to keep that elbow feeling the same way. So you're not pulling that in and creating pressure, tension there.
Show me what happens to your hand, keep the back of your hand when you pivot.
Okay, so you can get a shot of it here. The back of my hand, you're not really going to be able to see, are you? Unless I lay out this somehow like this. Well, notice that you have the angle of my hand. It's like a 45-degree angle, isn't it? From that.
And it's not changing, is it?
No, that's the object of pivoting. Yeah, so.
So that's
well, now you're going for your fourth finger too.
Okay.
The highest we're going to go is right here.
Okay.
And
okay.
So let me see you do it one time. Whoops, yeah, you should say high second. Low, high, low, high, low, high, and then low, high. That's as far as you're going to go. Don't worry about the little thing. So notice you have a nice 45-degree angle here too. That's what I want to work on. All right? So we're going to stop that recording there.